I'm Belinda Sandor, also known as Rocket Girl. Today, we're going to talk about not letting what other people think make such a big impact on your life. So I'm going to teach you how to stop worrying about people who are not worried about you. Let's get started. Welcome to the Rocket Girl Show. I'm Belinda Sandor, also known as Rocket Girl. And today we're going to talk about how to stop worrying about people who are not worried about you. So I'm thrilled you're here with me today. For those of you joining us for the first time, I'm Belinda Sandor, founder of the VA Connection, where I coach and mentor aspiring and established virtual assistants to create, grow, and scale their VA businesses. I work with my students in my free online community, my courses, and my coaching programs. And today I'll be your host of the Rocket Girl Show, my weekly live stream that airs every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. And each episode of the Rocket Girl Show is packed with useful information about your VA business, whether you're just starting out or you've been a VA for a while. So I'd love to hear in the comments where you're coming in from. We are streaming live everywhere. We are on Facebook. We are on Twitter. We are on LinkedIn. And we are on YouTube. And if you're watching from YouTube, I'd love it if you would subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so that you're notified every time we go live. We have free trainings at least twice a week and often more. And I don't want you to miss out. So today we're going to talk about how to stop worrying about people who are not worried about you, okay? And, you know, it's really interesting, this topic, because as virtual assistants, we want to have a thriving business, right? We know that it's going to bring us time, freedom, financial security, all the things that we want. We want the benefit of being able to work around our own schedules, important events in our lives, like caring for aging parents, our kids' baseball games, ballet. I have worked at barns all over Massachusetts and Connecticut, right? And we want to have time to take care of ourselves. But we let our doubts and our fears get in the way before we even get started. So we never take the first step, and we start and stop and start and stop before we gain any traction. So I'd love to hear from you. Is this something that's happened, right? I bet it is. And while you're letting me know, I'm going to say hello to Mary and to Laura, and hello, Frederica and Maria and Amy. So let me know where you all are coming in from. All right. Now, taking the first step in anything is scary. It is. It's scary. And once you take it, I know from experience that it can be energizing, exciting, and it's made me wonder why more people are not willing to walk through that initial fear to have the success that they want, right? Especially when there's so much information out there about how to make that happen, right? So I read a quote that stopped me in my tracks. It's the title of our live stream today. And it gave me this big, giant aha. And the quote was, "Stop worrying about people who aren't worried about you." It's a simple statement, but if you think about it for a minute, how many of us are doing the exact opposite, right? We're making important life choices based on the criteria of what other people will think. Really take that in, okay? Now, imagine a conversation. Okay, this is really kind of silly, but I'm going to give you an example, okay? So imagine a conversation you might have with a friend or a child, and they said to you, I really want to be a fireman. I've dreamed my whole life of being a fireman, but Joey doesn't think I can do it. So I'm going to be an accountant. Really? Okay, think about that. You've wanted something your whole life. You've dreamed about it. You're here in this community, so you've taken at least that step, right? And somebody thinks you can't do it, or you're not going to make enough money, or you're reading some nonsense on the internet, or, fill in the blank. So you decide that you're not going to do it today. You're going to do it, but you're going to do it tomorrow because you don't want to deal with how other people are going to think about you. Now, if I were you, I would either literally or in your mind tell Joey to go take a hike. Joey's not the boss of you, right? Joey's not the boss of you. And a lot of times people say things to us for different reasons. One, now that you're doing something, you're living your dream, you're stepping into it, they are maybe wondering, well, are feeling bad because they haven't done it, right? The other thing is that maybe they're trying to protect you, but they don't know what you're trying to do. The last person I would go to just make a business decision about that involves my entrepreneurial brain is my husband. I love him. He's not an entrepreneur. He doesn't know. He has a very different mentality when it comes to work. So you want to ask people who are in it for real and have experience. Okay. Now the thing, this is what's really funny. Okay. So not only are we worried about what people are going to think if we fail, we're worried about what people are going to think if we succeed. So you can't win, right? Because if you fail, it's like, oh, she tried it again and it didn't work. And when is she ever going to just get a job? And what else could they be thinking? She just doesn't have what it takes. And most of what we think they're thinking is way worse than they're ever thinking, because we're not nice to ourselves. And then they think, what if you're successful, you're thinking they're going to think something like, oh, well, isn't she fancy? Or, how long do you think she can, do that? Or I wonder who she lied to or cheated, or I don't know, to be able to make that happen. Or, there's such craziness that goes on in our head. So the thing is that in that thinking, there's no room for growth. There's no room for change. There's no room for success, right? In either one of these statements. So what if you tried something different instead? Okay. What if you imagined how to make today successful and you took the steps that you'll know will make a difference, right? And then you did the same thing again tomorrow. What if that's what you did? And the day after that, and the day after that. Creating a successful virtual assistant business does not happen overnight. It does not happen overnight. And that's the good news, right? Because it's not something that happens to you. It's something that you craft through your actions and your beliefs day by day, week by week, year by year. That's how it works. So I want you to think about building your business according to what's in your heart and not the stories you're making up about what other people think. Because trust me, you're going to be way happier as a virtual assistant and as a human being. And we all have those people. We have, mothers, spouses, best friends, brother-in-laws, we have those people. And, every person that I knew except one didn't think I had what it took to be a virtual assistant. They did not want me to name my business RocketGirl Solutions. They told me I should get a job. But you know what? For the first time, probably ever, I didn't listen to them, and I did it anyway. And it was hugely successful. And the thing that's really interesting is that so many of us are trained that it's selfish to make decisions for yourself about yourself. You should consider what everyone's saying, and the thing is that a lot of times people think that if you ask their opinion, you're somehow tied to doing what they said, but you're not. You're not. Thank you for telling me that. That's really interesting. I'll consider that and then move on, right? You can't please everybody. But I'll tell you what, being successful and not worrying about what other people think as much as I used to, I am able to be way more successful, way more generous, because I'm not depending on other people. I'm self-reliant and I can take care of myself. So think about that and think about how life would be different if that were you too. Okay, good. Well, thank you for coming to the RocketGirl Show. I hope this was helpful. And just, take time to think about how much time you spend in these crazy conversations. And it's not going to be an overnight fix. It's not going to be, I'm never doing that again. That doesn't work like that. I still, bump up against this. This is just part of being a human being. But I do invite you, when that happens, to, one decision at a time, one thought at a time, to soothe yourself so that you're able to make good decisions for yourself and decisions that support the life you want. All right. Lots to think about. I'm Belinda Sandor, signing off for now. I'll see you soon.